And Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is under scrutiny over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Lutnick previously said he had an interaction with Epstein decades ago, but files show the two were in contact as recently as 2018. Now he's facing calls to resign. ABC's Jay O'Brien's on Capitol Hill with more. Hi, Jay. I know you just spoke with Secretary Lutnick. How is he responding to these calls for his resignation?
Yeah, Diane, the secretary is testifying right now behind closed doors in front of a Senate subcommittee. And the topic of Jeffrey Epstein has already come up both behind closed doors in that meeting, but also before Lutnick walked into this hearing. I asked him repeatedly about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and in particular, why he continued contact with Jeffrey Epstein after Epstein first pled guilty to sex crimes in 2008. And I asked Lutnick, did he mischaracterize his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? Because he gave an interview previously some months back where he was emphatic that he did not have a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein after 2005, despite revelations in those more than 3 million pages of Epstein records that show Lutnick and Epstein had interactions after that date as late as 2018. Here's that exchange. Did you lie to the American people about your interactions with Epstein?
Did you have any financial involvement with Jeffrey Epstein?
Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty to sex crimes?
Come on, give us some space. Give us some space.
What do you say to the Democrats calling on for you to resign?
Give us some space.
Mr. Epstein, people of your level in the British government have been forced to resign. Will you resign?
Give us some space. Give us some space.
Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty?
I look forward to testifying today.
Did you mischaracterize your relationship with him?
Some space.
Why did you say you found him gross but still kept in contact with him?
What do you say to those who are calling for you to resign now?
Are you willing to speak to Congress about this?
I'm going to speak to Congress right now.
Do you expect to be asked about Epstein?
Why did you mischaracterize your relationship with him?
And in fact, Diane, he was asked about Jeffrey Epstein by the top Democrat on the panel, Chris Van Hollen. And this is what Lutnick just said moments ago in that hearing about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. He said, quote, I did not have a relationship with him. He said, quote, I barely had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. He did confirm something that we saw in emails from those DOJ records, that he and Epstein met either on or near Jeffrey Epstein's private island in 2012. Lutnick characterized that as a lunch on a boat, but it appears to be near the island because he was asked about a visit to the island, and he said that's where that lunch occurred. He was asked, did he see anything untoward? He said no. Lutnick said he was on a family vacation with his family, and he was with his family the entire time. He was then asked something that I asked him, and he didn't fully answer the question. Why did he keep in touch with Jeffrey Epstein after 2008? Lutnick has again maintained that they had very limited interactions, but he previously said, Diane, again, remember, in an interview, that he distanced himself from Epstein in 2005 and had very limited contact with him after that point. But those emails show, and Lutnick appears to confirm their validity here, that they at minimum had one in-person interaction in 2012. Those emails also show they invested in the same business in 2012 and were in touch again, at least through their assistants and staff, as late as 2018.
Jay, meanwhile, lawmakers are set to question top immigration officials on Capitol Hill about federal agents' tactics after the shooting deaths of Alex Peretti and Renee Good. How could this hearing affect the DHS funding negotiations also happening on Capitol Hill?
So this was a hearing that was called in the wake of the killing of Alex Peretti and Renee Good, and it was called by the Republican chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee to discuss potential reforms to ICE and to evaluate ICE's tactics and strategy and ongoing operations, both in Minneapolis and across the country. So expect pointed questions, especially from Democrats, but even some Republicans who have questioned, at minimum, ICE tactics in Minneapolis in that hearing. But also, as you say, it comes as there was this ongoing political football back and forth between Republicans and Democrats up here on Capitol Hill about potential reforms to ICE. That's been the sticking point in funding for the Department of Homeland Security. We saw Democrats we saw the White House rather communicate to Democrats their list of demands. We've seen Democrats say their demands are warrants, judicial warrants, before ICE can make arrests, for ICE agents not to wear masks during operations, and they have several others. All of that to say it doesn't look like, as we sit in Tuesday of this week, that there's going to be some kind of a resolution to ICE reforms by Friday when DHS money is expected to run out. So look to see if the Senate moves toward a temporary funding measure for that department. And does the House take it up before Friday? That's a very tall order in the way the congressional calendar is laid out right now. It doesn't look likely. So there is a strong possibility that you have funding lapse for the Department of Homeland Security. And that doesn't just impact ICE, but it also impacts FEMA, which is under DHS, the Secret Service under DHS, the TSA. And we expect Republicans in this hearing today to bring up the broader impacts of a lapse of DHS funding, Diane.
All right, Jay O'Brien, thank you.